towards its future. But that future is in many ways an uncertain one, in part because of the rapid expansion that lies ahead, in part because of Kolkata's vulnerability to the effects of climate change. And it's this vulnerability, coupled with the rapid urbanisation that Kolkata will experience in the years to come, which makes sustainable resource management for the growth of this city so vitally important. Around the world, resource efficiency in every form is becoming essential as urban development grows at a rate never experienced before. The biggest driver of this growth is the growth of the middle class population, widely but somewhat roughly defined as those who spend between $10 and $100 per day. And globally, this demographic has doubled from 1 billion people in 2000 to 2 billion in 2013, and is projected to further increase to 5 billion by the year 2030. And most of these people will be living in cities. Now, in many ways, this represents a wonderful opportunity for increased prosperity. It means that more and more people in the developing world are coming out of poverty. It means realization of dreams and aspirations. But preparing for this expansion in such a short space of time is a challenge the likes of which the world has never faced before. It has enormous implications for urban economics and for resource management in particular. And we need to wake up to this challenge. The choices that we make today on building design, waste management, water, energy and food systems, on the management of our urban ecosystems, on transportation, on the development of infrastructure, all of these things will have critical implications for our urban habitats in the years to come. It's therefore vital that we have an integrated and innovative approach as we try to future-proof our cities in the light of climate change, rising energy prices, increasing demand for water and for space. And in a small way, this is what we in the United Kingdom government are trying to help with here in Kolkata.
2011, where India has been one of the most energy efficient countries clearly in the world compared to the rest of the world in terms of energy consumption. But if we imagine India forward to, and we're going to have, as against about 42 cities that we have in India today with a population of more than 1 million, we will have close to 70 cities with a population of more than 1 million.
There comes a time in the lives of men and institutions, of governments, where one has to take stock of what has happened in the past and what are the portents for the future. If we push back the pages of history and look at how, when we adopted the Constitution of India in 1951, we adopted a planning process, a 5-year planning process, in which India hoped to forge plans and processes, regulatory issues, and the equitable distribution of resources. You see, planning has been variously described. If you look at the textbooks, you have a certain description of planning. But planning, I think about 30 or 40 years ago, is supposed to be the measures taken by the government to achieve preset goals in the shortest possible time. So time is of the essence. And therefore, if we push back the pages of history, we have to take note of how the planning process evolved. How did we do, what did we do to ensure that the country moved forward at a self-sustained rate of growth, and the country was able to conserve its resources and to ensure security, energy security, food security, water security for the future.
And yet they have no place, no space, no choice. It is therefore necessary to consider the whole idea of public purpose in resorting to which this kinds of transfer takes place. I know you are different kind of stakeholder, but I'm sure you are, as a citizen of India, as a citizen of sovereign India, you also know that the British legacy was to be different. The British legacy was of forcible land acquisition, and that's what those imperialist powers would always expected to do. But even they